Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So I'm back, and this time I'm coming back with a painting tutorial. As you can see here, I have this 3D printed Angron which fits perfectly for my World Eaters army, and I'm gonna show you how I painted this guy. So I start by priming the dude all black. As you can see, nice details by the way on this print. I also love the real model, but yeah, I kind of leaning towards this one. Now, to begin, I'm gonna stipple Retributor armor on all the parts that are supposed to be gold, giving it a good coverage, like so, letting the black shine through. Now with Raidbone I'm gonna cover all the skulls and also the tassels on the armor and the face. I'm doing the tassels of, well, I'm calling it tassels on the armor because I'm gonna cover them in Blood Angel's red later on with contrast paint. Don't forget the ones in the back, they're easy to miss. Now, if you don't have this 3D printed, but you have another Angron, the techniques will work just as well on any other one. By the way, on another note, this is also how I paint my Stormcast Eternals. Now, don't forget the skulls on his shoulder. Now, with Baneblade Brown, I'm gonna cover the fur, but you can use Black Templar if you prefer, or leave it black, as I believe the original artwork shows him having a black fur or a black cloak, but yeah, I'm doing it this way. Like so. Now I'm also going to do the horns in Raidbone, and don't forget the back of the tassels as I mentioned. See? Those two. Alright. Now I'm going to use corn red on the cloak and the small spots in between the skulls and on his shoulder. Just going over it with corn red. Don't forget the inside of the cloak. Also the two leather straps on his axes. And you will end up with him looking like this. Here you can see I've also done it on the shoulder pads. Don't worry if you spill on the skulls, you can easily clean that back up with some Raidbone afterwards, no worries. Alright, now I'm gonna give it a second tin coat. But just the other parts, I'm ignoring the inner part as you don't see it all that well anyway, so. And he looks like this now. Now with Blood Angel's red contrast, I'm gonna do all the tassel work. Be careful not to hit the skulls too much, but as I said, if you hit them, just go over them again with some Raidbone. Sorry about that. Like this, and if you spill over, you can always retouch up later. Now I'm gonna do all the metallic parts with Leadbelcher, which means the necklace that he's wearing, the chains on his shoulder straps, the teeth of the chain axis, also all the chains that hang on his body, the knee pad, the horns where the skulls are attached to, everything basically that is metallic. And I'm also going to do this part of the axe with metallic as well, the Leadbelcher. Also the rim of the base, of this base in particular. If you just have a regular base, you can do it whichever way you want, but this one I'm also going to do with metal later on. Alright, as you can see, he also has chains wrapped around his wrist. I also covered them with the Leadbelcher, the back part of his axis. Now apply 2 coats of Gulliman flesh over his face. Just let the first one dry a little bit before you apply the second coat. He has a rather pale face, so I don't want to overdo it. Now apply Mechanicus Standard Grey to the stone slab that he's standing on. Don't worry if you hit the skulls. There are many skulls on this base as well, but don't worry about that. Easy to apply later on with Raidbone. Now with Mephiston Red, I stipple the axe to give it some color. And again, I apologize. Oh. continuing to stipple on. Sorry, I still had my phone on on noise. I apologize. Alright, so as you can see, I'm covering the axe part here with red. But you don't have to do that. Here you can see that I've painted the rim base with lead belcher. Alright, time for some Black Templar, and I'm gonna do this for his butcher's nails. And you can also use this right now to cover all other pieces that you want black. Like so. Angron is taking shape. Looking cool. Okay, so I'm going to use red bone to touch up some of the parts and paint the skulls on the base. Some parts on his cloak where I overspilled some red on the skull, so I'm working that. Don't forget the skulls at the bottom of this stone slab here as well. Now I'm gonna dry brush Corax White across the entire stone base, and don't worry if you hit the skulls. Adds more to the detail, so just give it a good solid dry brush, and you can see immediately that it will start to look like stone. Like so. Cool. Alright, time to grime up the model with marine juice. Now, what is marine juice? It is basically 25% Agrax Earthshade, 25% Lamium Medium, 25% Nuln Oil, and 25% Reichland Fleshshade. And we're gonna mix them all together in a separate pot. Just make sure that you have equal parts of all four. And you will get marine juice. I don't know who the original inventor is of this product, but it is awesome. Now drown the model in marine juice. Cover everything, also including the stone. Cover it all. Grime him up. Make him dark. Just make sure that you wipe away any pooling areas, because that will look rather bad once it dries. So just cover the entire model. Just watch out for pooling. There we go. Let him dry. Now once dry, I paint the red triangle on his forehead. Just putting a little bit of a triangle, but I will touch it up later with some red bone, making it look better. And then I begin by stippling on Mephiston red on the axes, on the tassels, and everywhere except for the cloak. Like so. Don't forget the back parts. Now with corn red, I'm gonna bring back a bit of the dulled color to the cloak. Just painting all over it again, but this time go slow. Don't cover the entire piece, just take the highlighted pieces of the cloak, the highlighted parts of the cloak. Paint them up with corn red again. And you can use 2 thin coats for that, because I will do a first highlight with Mephiston red, covering the corn red we just did, but leave some area uncovered, so don't go over the full parts. Just watch as I do here. Everybody who's watching this video will probably know how to paint, so. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with a second highlight, but this time I'm using Wild Rider red. And I know painting grimdark doesn't involve highlights, but I still like to add a little bit, just for contrast with the darkness and dullness of his armor. But yeah, I'm pretty happy how he looks. Now with red bone, I'm gonna highlight the face, and I also, as you can see, worked a better view of the triangle. Just highlight his nose, his cheekbones, the top of his head. And if you want to, you can start by highlighting all the skulls, both on the base and on his armor and on his cloak. Like so. He's looking pretty damn awesome. Next I dry brush the fur with and his butcher's nails, also using red bone. Now believe it or not guys, this entire paint job, but that is excluding dry time, only took me 40 minutes to do for the entire model, so not bad, right? Now time for some blood effects. I use a mixture of gloss varnish, Blood Angel's Red and a Agrax Earthshade in equal parts. Mix it all up. And there you can see my bloody toothbrush, which is an old one. I've used that to bloody up my World Eater's army, and I'm going to begin by stippling and spraying it across my model. But less is more, so don't overdo it. You don't have to drown him in blood. Just stipple it on wherever you see fit. But less is more, guys, trust me. Voila, he's done and he's ready to lead my World Eater's army. And I'm happy with this model, really happy. So thank you all for watching and all your support, guys. It really means a lot, and I know I haven't uploaded for a while. As I said, I took a small break with my family, spending some quality time, but I'm back now, giving you, to start with, this first painting video, and I have a battle report coming up and a crafting video, which will be a cool, very awesome project, but I still have a lot of work to do on that one. But I hope you enjoyed this one, and I would say thanks all again for watching and your patience and your support, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. All right, bye for now. Bye.